And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Proud to be here with you inside of where sports meets life every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I am so excited to be here with you as we are unveiling the new digs to the studio. So we got a lot more space that we're working with here. Brought in a lot of different pieces here. A nice desk that allows me to rise and move around. So I get to stay up and stay moving. My Italian Hispanic ways get to dance around this studio and use my hands a lot more. So this is good stuff. Happy to be here with you this morning inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. And we're going to jump right into AD and DT featuring Athletics Director of LeMoyne College, Bob Beretta, and myself, Dan Tortora. Speaking on February promos that are coming up, the Phins Phrenzy that it's on its way this Friday and Sunday for women's and men's basketball respectively. And also getting into the successes of women's basketball, starting off the NEC in their first season in Division I at 3-0. So a lot of great things coming up. Then we have a special Dolphin Dive coming to you called From Goalpost to Goalpost, featuring Allison Moreau and her wonderful story coming from upstate New York and getting to a place right now where she is working out with professional soccer teams here in America. Very excited to share that special with you from on site at LeMoyne College. And then we'll jump into our fantasy football coverage and the divisional round for the upcoming NFL playoffs, brought to you by the Wildcat Sports Pub. So with all of that being said, I bring in the man to start off the hour, Mr. Bob Beretta. And Bob and I, we've been busy. There's a lot of things that have gone on. We had a Friday meet for senior day for men's and women's swimming and diving. And since then, there's been more basketball played. There was basketball on Saturday. There was basketball on Monday at home. There were road games for the women. A lot of great things going on. A lot of awesome things happening on the Heights. And y'all have to save the date because Giving Day is February 29th coming up as well. Bob, how are you?
I am excellent, Dan. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited that I have this new open air system here that I can run around,
I
and
love
it
it.
also allows me to put some other things up here and let that happen. So we gotta get some more fins, some more little dolphin trinkets that I'm going to be putting in here as well. How are you?
Well, yeah, you got to come to our Phins Frenzy this weekend. We have some great giveaways planned for our students and some other things lined up. So maybe we'll be able to get you a couple of those things that we're gonna hand out to our crowd.
Yeah, no, definitely excited about it. I want to jump right into it. The Phins Frenzy, something that has been going on, and it's been roped around a bunch of different sports on campus. And this is the first one where it's going to be for basketball, but because of the way the NEC is and doesn't have double headers, we're actually going to have the benefit of having two events, one on Friday, January 19th, and the other on Sunday, January 21st. So I'd love for you to kind of break down what's going to be happening and this unique Phins Frenzy, which is going to essentially be a double dose of it within 3 days.
Yeah, Dan, thanks. Really appreciate it. We're excited about it. We're excited about what we're trying to accomplish here in the department around our basketball games. Basketball is a priority sport in the NEC. They make no bones about that. And so we're really trying to drive crowd attendance, to drive student attendance. So we have a whole list of promotions planned really for the second semester. We'll really get heavy into it into February, but we kick it off here in late January with our Phins Frenzy games. And as you mentioned, because there are no doubleheaders, we have in essence now two separate Phins Frenzy events. The first is Friday night. Our women will take on Central Connecticut. Should be a really good matchup here at Ted Grant Court. We'll have the Baldwinsville Bees band here Friday. They were scheduled to come Sunday, but now we've had to make a change. When we don't have the band here on the weekends, we've now been able to bring in a DJ. We started that this week on Monday night. So we're trying to change the atmosphere and the environment, create that home court advantage for our players, and really increase fan enjoyment. And we'll be doing that on all of our weekend days. The rest of the year, we'll either have the Beesville Band. I think they're scheduled to perform 3 times. We just brought a DJ in now, and that person will be in or someone else on each of our Friday and Saturday night games the rest of the year. On Friday night, we have a whole host of student giveaways. We have in-game contests. We have T-shirt tosses. So special Phins Frenzy branded T-shirts, tees for threes. So as our team hits threes, everyone will have an opportunity to get T-shirts. Then we just launched yesterday a really cool special promotion giveaway for our students, and if they register on social media in advance of the game and they show up and they're present, there's a chance to win a really cool LeMoyne prize pack both Friday and Sunday afternoon. So really excited about what we're doing down here. Our team is working really hard and trying to improve, enhance the game day experience for our fans, and try to create that home court advantage for our teams.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome, and you and I experienced this last year, that when the Beeville band came in, it was just a totally different atmosphere. And I've said this, and I mean, all due respect, when I'm in the dome and I hear the band play, I've seen it many, many times, and the Beeville band, it commands more than any other band that comes into the dome. People stand and they watch. They're incredible. You literally close your eyes and you listen to the music and you forget these are kids. These are, 13, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Just an incredible, incredible. If this is where they're starting their career, I can only imagine where they're going. And when they came, and you and I were sitting next to each other when they were there last season at the Phins Phrenzy for basketball, and we just kind of smiled. And, you just kind of take in that atmosphere. They changed the entire kind of scope of everything. And then having a DJ come in, like you said, in its own unique respect, differently from the band, that also puts in its own effect to it. And I just, I love the things that you're doing. The creation of the t-shirts by the team at LeMoyne has been absolutely incredible. So, I mean, it's not just a t-shirt that's being thrown out that's any old t-shirt. There's time that goes into these designs. They're designs we haven't seen before. And so from the t-shirt to the Beeville band to the DJ to all of the different things you're doing with fans and how you're interacting with people, I just love the fact that LeMoyne is evolving and you're really trying to make this an entire event that win, lose, or draw within the confines of the game itself, that people are having a consistently good time, not an occasionally great time, which I think is a big thing.
Yeah, we're working hard. Dan, we have standards of excellence that we try to achieve and then we want to maintain. And I feel like, we're getting there as a staff. And as we add staff, we're able to do a few more things. And that'll only continue to grow as we get deeper into this transition plan to Division One. But it's really important to me that we continue to evolve, that we continue to push to new limits, to push people to places they've never been before, including myself. And we're going to continue to do that. And it's all about student athletes and their experience. And we want to make sure that not just for the players in the gym, but also our students that come down and visit and serve as our guests, because they're our best resource on game day to try to provide that home court advantage to our teams. And we know how important that can be. And our teams are playing a great brand of basketball right now. They really are. In the first year of Division One, I couldn't be more proud of how they've competed across the board, not just the basketball teams. We've talked about this, but our teams in the fall. We were at the swimming meet together on Friday, and so many personal bests there set by the team coming off that winter training session. And then
Yeah.
our women's basketball team. I know you touched on that in the open, but who would have thought that they'd be 3-0 right now? Uh, Alone in first place is the only undefeated team in the NEC 3 games into the season.
Yeah, and that is huge, and we've talked about this really from the jump, right? Because one of the questions that I got right out of the gate was, is LeMoyne ready? And you know how I feel as part of this Finn family that you've so graciously, and Linda and so many people have made me a part of. When somebody asks me if you're ready, I feel that kind of bounce right off my chest and go, excuse me, is LeMoyne ready? Yeah, they're ready. And to see women's soccer take the field, get a victory early on, the first ever division, victory as a full-time Division One institution. You see women's tennis, hey, got that first NEC win. You see the men's soccer team with an interim head coach go to the postseason in their first season in Division One. So all of those things happen early on. Then you get some moves here in golf. You get some moves here, when we're looking at the cross country and track and field world. And then you jump into basketball and you have both of these teams win their NEC openers. And that was an incredible start to the conference. I mean, basically, they are going above and beyond maybe a lot of people's expectations, but you wouldn't have made this move if not for believing that these teams, these student athletes, these coaches had the caliber of being ready. And across the board, when I speak with these coaches, they said, hey, we never recruited Division II talent. We never looked at somebody and said, you're not a Division One player, you can come here. They've asked excellence out of their student athletes. They've asked them to do good in the classroom and good on the fields, courts, and pools of life. And in the same respect, you've demanded that these coaches do the same thing. And if anybody is on campus and actually spending time on the heights, there was never a question of, is LeMoyne prepared to make a jump like this? It was the reality of a dolphin can be kept in a pool, but when you let them out into the ocean, they're a lot happier.
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it, Dan, and thank you for that. I felt that our teams could come in and compete immediately. I really did. Maybe not all of them win championships immediately, but I thought that we could come in and be very competitive, and we've proven to be just that. And everyone knows that the spring season here at LeMoyne, we get into the spring season, and those historically have been very, very competitive teams, and when it comes to winning championships, and we expect that again as we gear up here and we start looking, because those seasons aren't far away. Now, baseball, lacrosse, and softball, they're going to start here in a couple of weeks, believe it or not. They start a little bit earlier at the Division One level. So in February, you're going to see some competitions kick off here in the spring teams. And we're really excited about the potential for success for those teams as well. I met with one the other night, and it was a softball team. And I told them, hey, listen, just look around. You belong. We would not have made this move. I would not have advocated putting you in a position to fail. We're going to be able to compete for a championship immediately. So don't give yourself a grace period and feel like, hey, it's going to take us some time to acclimate.
Yeah.
You're going to be competitive immediately. You need to go in with that mindset that, hey, we belong. We're going to compete at a high level, and we're going to contend for a championship in year one. And I think that our teams have proven that. And again, you look at our fall teams set the bar and at a very high level in terms of competition. Men's soccer qualifying for the tournament in its first year. Very competitive women's soccer side as well throughout the course of the year. Our tennis teams will be very, very competitive in the NEC as we gear up here now in the spring season, now with their championship seasons. But you look at what women's basketball has done, and I think that, I was very confident that they'd be extremely competitive. But to be able to go on the road and sweep a couple games last weekend and won at the home of the defending conference champion and preseason favorite, Sacred Heart, that caught up a lot of people's attention. And that speaks to the character of that team, the grit that they play with which they play, and really the personality of Mary Grimes, the head coach. That's rubbing off on that team in ways that you can see in terms of their preparation and their competitiveness and their grit and resilience during the course of the game. What I loved about Monday's win over Sacred Heart, Dan, and I talked to Mary after the game, was we were up by 12 early against the preseason conference favorites, defending league champion that won a game last year in the tournament. And that lead got whittled down. In fact, Sacred Heart took its first lead with about 5 minutes left. And you would think that, okay, it was a good run. And now, they're going to end up losing a competitive game. And, we didn't flinch. We regained the lead and held firm down the stretch. So we led the majority of that game. We probably led for 37 minutes of those 40 minutes of that contest. So to be able to fight through that adversity, show that resilience and that grit, regain the lead and hold them off down the stretch, I think is a testament to the true character of those young ladies.
Yeah, and it is. It's just, you see Mary Grimes, her first two seasons ever as a head coach, when she returns to LeMoyne, becomes LeMoyne Dolphins women's basketball head coach after being an assistant under Gina Castelli and working in Division One places as well, like Xavier in recent history. She comes in and she goes to back-to-back NCAA tournaments in her first time ever as a head coach. And now here she is leading the only undefeated team in the NEC through these first few games. It says a lot about what they're building, and it says a lot about what is potentially coming. And hopefully, you know how I feel about this, it hopefully pushes just a little bit more on that 4-year reclassification. You can't play in the NCAA tournament. If the NEC just by themselves goes, look at what Merrimack did in men's basketball. Look at what, LeMoyne is doing right now. Look at what Stonehill did coming in last year, finishing third in men's basketball. Like, you gotta, and of course they've done things in other sports as well, but it continues to push the envelope if these teams that are coming in right away are paying their dues and winning early on, saying, okay, you know what? You want the tournament to be electric, you want it to be exciting, you want it to be fun. You can't keep the teams out that are creating the electricity.
Well, you said it well, Dan. I don't want to add anything more to that other than to say that we agree. We agree with those stances, but we're really grateful that the NEC was able to look at things holistically, and the presidents and the leadership able to grant us immediate eligibility for conference championships. So, right now we're still basking in that victory in terms of being able to compete for championships, because it just provides that level of motivation,
Yeah.
whether it's soccer's in the fall, volleyball, whatever it might be, just to get into the tournament, and now if you get into the tournament, you got a chance at that ring and at hoisting that trophy. And that's really important to us. We're about winning the right way, but I don't bow down or back down from the desire to win championships. That's why we keep score, right? And it's really important to us to maintain that standard of excellence that LeMoyne has established many years at the Division II level, in some sports Division I level, and now I want to make sure that we carry that into our new environment, and that we're going to compete and win championships the right way, and we're going to do it at the Division I level.
Yeah, and I love that, and I appreciate the way that LeMoyne goes about what they do, as you know. Final note here, really quick, February promos in general. I know you wanted to hit some of those things that are coming up. Phins Phrenzy is this Friday and Sunday, January 19th and January 21st, respectively. The women's team is off to a 3-0 start. The men's and women's team have each found victory in their first few games in the NEC. I'd love to hit the February promos quick here.
Yeah, I'd love to, Dan, and we'll get into this, I think, down the road a little bit more specifically, but, we're going to have a Scout Day on February 17th. We've never done that before, so we'll invite Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, anyone in with a uniform, come on in for free admission. We'll do that on February 17th. We'll have the Beeville Band back that date as well in February. We're bringing the Beeville Band here on January 27th because of the conflict with the Phins Phrenzy, so they'll be here Friday, the 27th of January, the 17th of February. We're going to have that Scout Day on February 17th. We're going to have 2 military appreciation nights here in February, where we're going to honor the military, those that serve, and really important to me that we honor those folks. So all active military members or retired military with a military ID, free admission to those games. They'll be in February. We'll get those dates out. We haven't announced any of these yet, so you're the first to hear about these things. We're just crafting our promotional schedule here as we go. But we'll have those types of things. And again, we talked about the music piece, the DJs on the weekends, and the Beeville Band. So whole lot of things. We got senior days. We're going to honor our cross country and track team because we don't have a facility, so we'll honor them at halftime of a basketball game coming up. Men's senior day on the 24th of February. Women's senior day on March 2nd. Whole host of things coming up. We'll have a promotion slate that we'll put out there, and we'll talk about that more and more as we get closer. But lots of energy here on the Heights. We're trying to elevate our game, elevate our standard of excellence, then maintain that. And we also want to make sure that we're trying to treat all of our student athletes in an equitable way. So just because track and field doesn't have a facility doesn't mean we can't have a senior day for them. So we're going to honor them. We did it last year as well for the first time. We'll do it again this year. Honor them at halftime of a basketball game, and we'll do the same with the dance team, our basketball teams at their venues. So whole lots of excitement coming. I can't wait to really gear up here now as we start that conference grind.
Yeah, very excited about this and appreciate the news here on the show. As always, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, you get to hear it first when it comes through LeMoyne, right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Bob, as always, I appreciate you. I will see you Friday. I will see you Sunday. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. You and I finally get to eat a meal. It's cool. I mean, have we eaten in the last 3 months? But we'll get to do that soon, and I look forward to that. I appreciate you as always. I know that this has made your schedule even busier in a good way, and I always appreciate the time that you take. So my best to your meetings today and everything going well, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, I look forward to the weekend, Dan. Be well, and congratulations on the studio. Love it. We got to get some more Phins gear in there. We'll work on that this weekend.
I know my favorite color is green, so let's figure out what we can do with this.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right, take care, Bob. Thanks. Coming here from Bob Beretta one more time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And you heard it here first. We have the opportunity to announce to you, we had the wonderful graciousness of Bob Beretta and LeMoyne to announce to you that the Beeville Band will not only be there this Friday, January 19th, but they will also be there on January 27th, and they will be there on February 17th, which will also be Scout Day. Scout Day, February 17th on the Heights at Ted Grant Court. And that during the basketball game is going to be for anybody in Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. If you come in uniform, you get free admission to the event. How cool is that? Awesome. And 2 military appreciation nights coming up in February as well to honor our incredible military, including my very close friends and somebody I consider family, Mr. Mark Walczyk, who has been deployed. So, I think about the ones I know, I think about the ones I don't know, and I thank you all for your service to this country and your service to freedom all around the world. So it's not an easy job to do. It's a lot of times a thankless job, and it's a job that is incredibly, incredibly crucial. God gave us all freedom. Some people decided to take that away from others, and America is supposed to be a beacon of hope, a beacon of light, a beacon of responsibility, a beacon to remind people that God cares about everybody the same. So we need to show that, we need to shine that, and we need to find the right people around that, and I hope that we continue to do so in that respect. And if you got people like my buddy Mark that are out there in the military for you, you're going to be all right. So God bless to all. God bless you all. We're going to take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're going to continue the Dolphin coverage in a special Dolphin Dive that I am calling From Goalpost to Goalpost, featuring your longtime goalkeeper at LeMoyne, Miss Allison Moreau, right after this.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life. That's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome here to a very special edition of the Dolphin Dive. We are here in the Hall of Fame area on campus at LeMoyne College because I am predicting that someday Allison Moreau is going to be here herself. So Allison is here with me, the longtime goalkeeper of the LeMoyne Dolphins women's soccer team, to speak on a lot of your journey and your story, to go a little bit deeper into this Dolphin Dive. So how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to have you here. Good. So you and I, years ago, did one of my first broadcasts ever here. Mm-hmm. It might have been the first. It was right around that initial. It feels like it was 100 years ago. It also feels like it was like last Thursday.
Yep.
How quickly has this gone by for you?
Yeah, it's flown by. I mean, I feel like I was just a freshman here, yesterday, and to already be done with my collegiate career is just crazy.
The way you finished your collegiate career, Division I, right? So not something you anticipated coming here. What was that like to hang up the cleats for LeMoyne and have your final year be a Division I campaign?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, coming here, I never thought the school would be Division I. Like, I always thought, Division II. But just to end my chapter, with the change and get the first Division I win, the first Division I home game and all that stuff is really cool to me.
First Division I save,
yeah,
a lot of First Division I things. Do you have a favorite personal moment of the first Division I season for women's soccer at LeMoyne?
I would say the first win at Niagara. That was awesome. Just to get that, and it was game winner too, so that was pretty cool and exciting. So.
Yeah, and I sat here with Jenica, and we spoke right here in this area about that. So really incredible history that you've had. You hit 300 saves. You surpassed 300. You, as somebody very nicely put when I had posted our video, right underneath that, they were like, yeah, 300 saves, but it doesn't count everything else you did in between the pipes. So when you look back and reflect on this, we're talking 300 saves, but we're also talking about a lot of other opportunities where you knock the ball away. Could you have done any more? I mean, I feel like you had such a tremendous, I honestly, and I'm not saying it because you're sitting here, I think the Hall of Fame would be honored to have you.
Thank you.
Really, I mean, like, who are you, if you're not going to put you in, who are you going to put in? But I mean, to have the saves that you have and the career that you've had, how do you reflect on such a tremendous career?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, every game I give it my all. Try to get the ball to the net, try to get the win, do everything I can for my teammates to get the result also, and just the support I've had from my coaches, teammates, family, and all that has just been tremendous throughout my career.
You go through coaching changes. At one point you had 3 head coaches in a couple months' time. How did you navigate that, and was there any part of you that was like, oh man, like, what am I doing here? I mean, how did you reflect on that?
I mean, I wasn't really worried. I mean, the game doesn't change. I'm still trying to get the ball to the net at the end of the day. But yeah, we did have, the first head coach when I came in here originally. And then we had another head coach that, moved on to another school right before the season started. And now we have the current head coach. So just, dealing with all that too, just shows that we can get through adversity. So.
Yaro's Avasana as your head coach. What I love about him, I'm sure he'll laugh when I say this, but I love that he tells officials exactly how he feels.
Yeah.
Do you like having a coach that fights for you guys like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who doesn't? Just seeing the passion with him, during the game too. If you go to a game, you can obviously tell and stuff. But it's awesome if he sees something that the ref doesn't call and stuff. Him sticking up for us, it's pretty cool.
You being in between these goalposts, the pipes, whatever you want to call it. When did you realize I want to be a goalie? because when I was coaching U12, I had 8 to 11-year-olds, and nobody was a goalkeeper. And I had to ask someone to try to do it, and then I had to rotate some people in. So when you were little growing up, were you like everybody else, like, hey, I want to go score the goal? Or did you find your way to the goal a little bit sooner to be a goalkeeper?
Yeah, so I think it was a little of both. I mean, when I was younger, I played field a lot. I don't think I played goalie. It's hard to remember. But I was a striker, and then I want to say that I just tried it out, and it clicked instantly for me with the athleticism and just reaction time and stuff like that. So then I just stuck with it. Throughout that.
So for you, you said like something clicks,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you remember that first moment where you were like, I really like being a goalie?
I want to say it was within the 14-15 age range.
Okay.
Like indoor leagues and stuff, and travel leagues and stuff like that. I played for SDA for a little bit, and then I played for Coliseum. But yeah, I just like being a goalie, and also I played basketball too, so I think that kind of helped me, getting rebounds from basketball and stuff like that kind of helped me, get the ball in the air and stuff like that.
The beauty of being a goalkeeper is that you're the only person on the field that can touch the ball with your hands.
Yeah.
So basketball does help.
Mm-hmm.
So you felt that give and take to go a little bit more into that. I mean, I played basketball growing up, so I knew that, but my thing was different. Like, you're playing soccer and basketball, where like if you take a basketball player and tell us to play soccer, we want to touch the ball.
Yeah.
So how did you, I mean, like you said, being a goalkeeper, going for the rebounds and whatnot, did you feel that soccer helped basketball more or basketball helped soccer more? Do you feel like you leaned one way, saying like, wow, what I'm learning in this sport is really helping me more here? How would you look at it?
I would say they're separately, two separate things, but I think basketball did help me with soccer, just with my reflexes and stuff, like trying to see where the ball hits off the rim, getting the rebound, passing the ball, and stuff like that really helped me goal too, so.
When did you let go of basketball?
Before I came to college. I played all the way up to my senior year of high school, played AAU, and then that was a hard thing to let go of because I was kind of in between playing basketball in college and playing soccer in college, so it was a win-win either way. So.
Did LeMoyne want you for either?
No, LeMoyne was more of a soccer.
Okay.
Soccer, yeah, but couldn't go wrong. So.
Reflecting on it, obviously you've had a tremendous career in soccer, but is there a part of you that ever yearns? Do you ever walk into the lobby and go up to Ted Grant Court and something inside of you is like, oh man, like maybe I could do both? Do you ever think about it?
Yeah, for sure. I thought about that since freshman year. I mean, I miss basketball. I love basketball. I still play in the rec center. Sometimes I'll go be shooting basketballs and stuff. But yeah, I do miss basketball a lot.
So you committed to soccer, committed to coming here. You have had so many memorable plays that I think people that watch you, like myself, we probably would pick something different. When you're on the field here at Ted Grant Field, when that moment finally happens and you stepped out, let's go to your first time that you're the starting goalkeeper, where your coach comes over to you and says, Allison, that's your goal. Bring me back to that moment.
Yeah, so that happened sophomore year. Freshman year, I kind of was, half and half with the senior goalie that we had. She would play the first half, and I would play the second half at the later in the season. But sophomore year, she graduated, and then I took on that starting role, and having that responsibility was awesome.
So sophomore year, it happens for you. Do you remember that first game?
It was actually junior year because of COVID. Forgot about that. We did not have a season sophomore year, so it was junior year.
So your technical, what would have been your sophomore year, but everybody got extended. So
yeah,
your junior year as a academic side of things. So junior year. So bring me into. Do you remember the first game? No.
No.
You don't? So when you're getting hit all the time.
Yeah.
The ball is flying at you. Very fast. Was there ever a moment in college where the ball hit you and you wanted to hit that ball back so hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely did happen.
When?
I can't remember an exact time, but
Did you have a time this season where you're just like, oh my gosh, like that just, because your body
yeah.
is constantly on the line. You're not wearing pads. This isn't football, so you don't have this chest plate to block you and whatnot. So when you're laying out, do you ever, how do you think about it? Because you have to come to a point where you just have that dog mentality where you're like, I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get hit in the face. I'm going to get hit in the leg. I'm going to get hit in the ear. Like, how do you become okay with having many miles per hour coming right at you?
Yeah, so that happens a lot during 1v1s. You see, I run into people all the time in 1v1s. But you kind of just, if you're going out for the ball, you have to sacrifice your body, put your body on the line for your team, and come out with the ball and not let it go in the net. So.
Why do you not mind getting hit with the ball?
I think my adrenaline kicks in at that point.
Do you feel it? Like, did you feel, can you go back to this last season and say like, oh, I felt this one or I felt that one? Do you feel it after the game? Do you feel it at all? Like, when does the adrenaline wear off?
Yeah, so definitely the day after games. I'm pretty sore. And then actually one time during the season, the Seton Hall game, I had a 1v1 and it was actually offside, so it was kind of, pointless to, have that collision with the girl. But I did chip my rib a little bit in that game, so I was out for the next game, but yeah.
I do remember when you were out. How did you chip it? Did she kick you on the side?
Yeah, so she didn't stop. I came out, she didn't stop, and she kind of kicked into my side and flipped over.
Just cleated you.
Yeah.
Do you, this is something we never see, do you ever like lift up the shirt after the game and it's like welt, black and blue? Do you ever have that leg?
It's always my legs too.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, my legs are always beat up.
Because that's something that we never ever witness, right? Because you're on the field, you're doing your thing, then you leave, we might see an ice pack on you, but nothing else. But you're the one that wakes up and sees this was 36 minutes in, that was 53 minutes in.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that part of it? Like when you said when the adrenaline goes away and you have remnants of the game.
During the season, you kind of just are expected to be kind of beat up and just get through it and stuff and do what you can to, be 100% the next game. But, little bruises and stuff on my legs don't really bother me. But yeah.
Have you ever had an injury that you felt like, this was the one that really?
Not really. I've been lucky enough throughout my soccer career to not have season-ending injuries and stuff. But yeah.
Do you have one that you thought this is ridiculous? Like how, I know you said the one where it was offsides, maybe that's the one, but did you have one where you're like, what was the point of this?
Yeah, actually this year I had a really bad turf burn on my leg, and it was a home game, and the girl kicked it at me and I dove on it and it ripped open again, and then the ref, after I dove on it, called a handball before the play. And I was like, you couldn't have called that before I had to dive for the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, you go through this, so I guess the question is, because so many times in the sports world, they talk about football, they talk about wrestling, and this, that, whatever, but being a soccer player, especially a goalkeeper, kind of a badass.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it would be.
Like you said, the adrenaline kicks in, but what do you do in your regimen? How do you prepare yourself, your body, to take those blows? Because like I said, after the game, you see the bruises, but we don't see you change. I've been to, I don't even know how many games at this point over the last few years, and I've never seen you wince, bend down, look like you're in pain. You hit it, next play. Grab it, next play.
Yep.
So, I guess, do you kind of just get used to, this is what I have to do, this is the run of the game? What's the regimen to kind of get you ready? What are you eating? How are you working out? I'd love to know the background of that, so that I could stand in the goal one time and have somebody kick a ball at me, let alone hundreds of times.
Yeah, we practice every day too, so I think that helps going through that. And I think it's just, for me, it's just my mentality to want to win.
Yeah.
And want to keep the ball out of the net. Obviously, I don't want to get scored on. I hate being scored on. So just that, trying to get the result for my team. And yeah.
What's the nutrition for you? Do you have this is what I do every day, or no?
Not really.
Okay.
Protein during the season. I do eat better than I do out of season, but nothing really too specific.
What's the cheat food? Like if you're in season, something you just like, if coaches like, do whatever you want today.
Pasta probably.
Okay, what kind?
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Fettuccine Alfredo. Yeah. Okay, all right. Anything on it? Chicken, shrimp?
Chicken. Yep.
Okay, so some chicken, fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah.
From where?
Well, we go to Olive Garden a lot on away trips.
From an Italian, it's like, we make all of this at home. And I hear you guys talk about this and I'm like,
Yep.
I was like, I wish Yarrow would call me and be like, make some ziti, we're coming back. And like, I'll have pans and then you guys can like eat some real Italian food.
Yeah.
No offense to Olive Garden, there is some really good food there, but I'm saying like, homemade sauce.
Yeah.
Have you had homemade Italian food?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom makes sauce.
So
sauce.
mom makes sauce.
Yep.
So when you're at home, because home is it's not too far away.
Yeah, it's an hour away.
Yeah, hour away.
Yep.
So when you go home, what's that dish where you're like, Mom, you gotta make this for me?
Chicken riggies for sure.
Chicken riggies?
Chicken riggies.
Mom makes homemade chicken riggies?
Yeah.
With the spice and everything? You like to kick it up? You like spicy?
Yep.
All right. What's
Hot
Mom's first
peppers.
name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Yes, I do know Jennifer because Jennifer and she follows me on social media. So Jennifer Moreau, please understand something. I need some chicken riggies to come to my house. I will send your daughter with some chicken fettuccine Alfredo, but you have to give me chicken riggies back. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that a fair trade? I like making riggies at home. So what part, again, tell everybody where you're from.
Utica, New York.
So because you're in Sequoia,
Yeah.
right? It's a little bit outside. So Utica is the home of all this.
Yeah.
And so did you grow up on like greens and riggies and all that stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Utica greens, riggies, Utica coffee. Yep.
Utica coffee. So what else? Now, do you call them half moons or black and whites?
Half moons.
Because that's the
Half
correct
moons.
answer.
Yep.
So being in the Utica area, it's so Italian. Moreau is French.
Yep.
So dad is French.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's Italian.
No, mom is Canadian.
Mom is Canadian.
Yes, her last name is Moon.
Is Moon.
Yep.
Okay, so that's an awesome last name, by the way. So I'm trying to butter up Mom. I want those riggies. So Dad is French. Is Dad cooking?
Not as much as my mom. He'll grill. He likes to grill in the summer, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, my mom's chicken riggies are to die for. So.
Yeah, they sound great, and I desperately want them. If you go outside of the state of New York, people don't know what riggies are.
Yeah, no.
If you go if you go past Binghamton, they don't know riggies, they don't know greens. If you go outside of Syracuse,
Yep. Even Albany, my roommate Reagan.
yeah,
Freshman year.
Reagan Sands.
Yep. Freshman year.
What's up, Reagan? We're about to say something bad about you, but it's coming from Allison that way. Go ahead.
I mentioned chicken riggy. She said, "What's a chicken riggy?"
Yeah, exactly. Now, let me ask you this. You're from Utica. I'm from Syracuse. Like 10 minutes, grew up 10 minutes away from LeMoyne. My dad came here. Do you know what a Kigley is? So if you leave like a 10 to 20 mile radius of Syracuse, a Kigley, they're called Long Johns too. It's a rectangular donut that has chocolate or vanilla on the top, and it's not filled with anything. But they make them at Lincourt Bakery, which is the best bakery in the whole world, and they're called Kigleys. But that's even worse than the Utica greens and all that stuff. Like if you leave Syracuse, nobody knows a Kigley.
Yep.
The fact that you have lived in Syracuse for years, it's criminal that you don't know what a Kigley is. But you know taillights and headlights? Those donuts?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so you know those.
Yep.
And you obviously know the Utica stuff, and you know Half Moon is a Half Moon.
Yes.
So you don't know Kigley.
Nope.
So you almost are a true Syracusan now.
Yep.
You're close.
Almost.
What is different about Utica and Syracuse?
Not much. They're pretty similar. I mean, Syracuse is obviously bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you like the people coming to Utica desperately being like, I need your Italian food? Because like so many people are told to go to Utica.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the case. I mean, I'll go to other restaurants and stuff, like around here, and I'll see, it's a Utica thing. That brand is all over the place. People
Utica
can buy,
pizza,
people can buy bread, sauce, all that stuff. So.
Tomato pie or pizza?
Tomato pie.
Really?
No, pizza.
Okay, all right.
Change my answer.
All right. Who has the best tomato pie?
Roma's in New Hartford. That's where we always get our.
That's the one that I was told. I've had Roma's, I've had Utica pizzas as well. I've had some different ones. Roma's, I will tell you, for in the Utica area, it's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's also very easy to eat, like 24 slices. If you get like one of those big things,
Yeah.
and there's like 50,
Yeah.
they're cut like this, and you could eat like 10, and you're like, oh, it's just like a cracker. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
So Roma's is the best. What's the workout regimen like? Because now you're still training. We're going to talk about what you just did down in Florida. So what's your workout regimen?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Just lifting, trying to stay active. Over the past couple weeks, I've been practicing with Coach Yaro's club team.
Yeah.
So that's helped me for being active.
The Orlando Pride of the NWSL and the Tampa Bay Sun FC of the USL, a new league, right?
Yep.
So the NWSL, and I brought this up on my show multiple times, what I'm happy about with you and with people coming up now is that women have an option, right? When I was growing up, there was no NWSL. Then the NWSL comes out, but it was like, is it gonna last?
Yeah.
And then it started to get some traction over the last couple of years. Now we have the USL. What is that? Whatever league it may be, the NWSL, USL, whatever, the fact that there is an option for you as a woman to keep playing professionally in America, just what that means to you, knowing that other women didn't have that.
Yeah, I know it's awesome, and then that's what the USL, the coach there explained, like it's giving women an opportunity to play, in the United States, because a lot of people have to go overseas to find opportunities. So just making that more available here in the U.S., it's awesome to, be able to have the opportunity as a woman.
So, it was cold up here, snowing-ish. You were down in Orlando and in Tampa. You went to Orlando first,
Yep.
right? So the Orlando Pride, bring me into, I want to know, paint the picture, bring me in, what did you do, give me the whole thing.
Yeah, so it was a one-day combine, 2 sessions, one early in the morning, one in the afternoon. So I went there, signed in, hung out in the lounge with, the other players that were at the combine. And then the first session, we broke out into groups, 3 groups, and there were goalie coaches from each team. It was with Racing Louisville, North Carolina Courage, and then Orlando Pride. So each of their goalie coaches took a group, and we did different drills within those groups. And then that was the first session, and then we went to lunch. They provided lunch, they provided Greek food, so that was pretty cool. And then the second session was just 2 groups and just 2 different drills. So.
How did you get any feedback from there?
Yeah, I learned a lot, different footwork and stuff from the coaches. It was pretty cool. And just watching the other players too was pretty cool.
What was the biggest takeaway specifically from the Orlando Pride Combine?
I think the biggest takeaway was that, I belong there. I was kind of nervous going into it, being from a smaller school, playing with, players from FSU who just won the national championship, UNC and all that. I was kind of nervous about that, but, I definitely fit in, and just knowing I belong there.
What is it about, number one, I love that. What made you feel like, like you said, going in, do I belong? When you came out saying I do, what is it about you specifically that you came out of there saying I can do this, like I belong with these players?
Yeah, I mean the different drills we did, I was making good saves, along with the other players, and being coachable, adjusting to what the coaches were giving feedback on, and stuff like that. So.
You got to be around, like you said, the FSU goalkeeper, just won a national championship, North Carolina goalkeeper, you and I were talking about it off the air. What was that experience like to be around people that you've watched? You watched North Carolina, so just what it's like to watch them and then to be right next to them, and you're all vying for the same opportunities, right? And so you go from seeing them from afar to, hey, they're right next to me, I'm shaking their hand, like that had to be surreal.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Just they walked in too, we were all just hanging out in the lounge. Most of them knew each other because they all played against each other, obviously.
Yeah.
But just meeting them, it was a great experience. Yeah.
Did they leave you with like, hey, LeMoyne can hang? Did they give you a little love?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So you go to the Tampa Bay Sun FC for the USL. after Orlando Pride, what'd you do with Tampa?
So that was a 2-day combine, Saturday and Sunday, 2 sessions on Saturday, 1 session on Sunday. And that was pretty much just full playing, because that was with field players also, so there were about 50 of us. I want to say 9 goalkeepers, and we just played full field the whole time.
So what was it, just gameplay? I mean,
yeah.
How was it looking?
Yep,
Okay.
it was just gameplay.
And 9, so were you kind of just, was it one field rotation?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we were all just rotating throughout.
So how long did you get to be out there?
We split it evenly, so between the 9 of us.
Were there a lot of shots coming your way where you felt like you got to showcase yourself?
Yeah, yep. And then we did, Sunday we did a shooting drill too, so that was good.
Okay, so what was it about Tampa that was special?
Just it being new and a fresh league. I mean, they're obviously looking to fill their roster, so that was pretty cool. And the whole coaching staff was really welcoming and nice.
And that was just Tampa?
Yep.
So with Orlando Pride, you're getting some experience with different franchises, good, because the whole country gets to see you right in a way. And with Tampa Bay, they're literally saying like, okay, we're going to be starting our league, so how we do this. What did they kind of tell you of how they're going to assemble their rosters?
Yeah, so they actually don't kick off till August,
Yeah.
so they're still obviously in the making of their roster. So I think they were waiting to see who got picked up in the draft, who didn't, to kind of see who they're going to take and stuff like that. But yeah.
So NWSL, USL, how do you feel about both?
Yeah, good. I mean, it was a great opportunity to even be out there and showcase myself and put LeMoyne on the map. So yeah.
You and I talked a few weeks ago that you have a plan, you're looking at what you can do with your degree, but if there was an opportunity that presented itself, you would go after it. Now that you've chased this opportunity, how good do you feel that we could see you continue your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a childhood dream of mine to do this, so, I felt like I did have to take the opportunity when it came to me. But we'll see how things go. I'm going to reach out to more USL teams, I think, and see if there's any more combines, because everybody's still trying to, get their rosters together and stuff, so.
How did it come about that you connected with the Pride and the Sun?
Yeah, so it was through Coach Yarrow. He put me in contact with the GM of Orlando Pride, and I sent my film to her, and then I got the invite from that, so that's how that went.
So Yarrow's helping to get you out there.
Yep.
What does that mean to you that, he wasn't the coach that recruited you, wasn't the one that was here with you the whole time, but spending the last couple of years with him, what does it mean to you that he cares enough about you? Because some coaches, they love you when you're on the field, and when your eligibility's done, it's on to the next. What does it mean to you that he's saying, no, you're once a Dolphin, always a Dolphin, how can I help you?
Yeah, no, it's awesome having that support from him. He's the one that put that idea into my head, after the season about playing professionally. So him doing the work to reach out to coaches and, connecting me with different people, it's just awesome to have that support from him.
General managers, head coaches that could be watching from the USL, the NWSL, or wherever, what do you want to say to them? Why should Allison Moreau be on your team?
I think I am a hard worker. I love to win. I strive to win, strive to do the best I can.
What makes you different when there's goalkeepers that are all trying to make saves? What is it about you that you think sticks out that if someone had never seen you play before and you're at a combine, that they're going to go, oh, okay, who's that over there?
I think my intensity that I bring, and kind of how nonchalant I am. I mean, goalies, you can't save everything, so, you let one go by that you can't get, you just got to move on to the next. And I think, always making the save after every other save, it's always the next play, so I think that's something too.
Mentality is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Mental toughness. How did you work on your mental toughness, and do you believe now you can just, if it doesn't go your way, something doesn't happen, can you let it go quickly?
Yeah, I mean, throughout my whole athletic career, I've had to deal with different stuff. I've had different coaches pushing me throughout that and creating my mental toughness, so I think that really helped me with my past experiences. So.
How would you describe how quickly do you let a play go on the field?
I would say pretty quickly. I mean, if I let a goal up, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. So I have no choice. I have to go on to the next play. So I think I do pretty well with that.
So mental toughness is a big part of it. What's in your intensity, like you said? What do you think a goalkeeper has to have? Like if you flip the script and you were the coach and you were looking for a goalkeeper, what are you looking for beyond simply, somebody who's going to protect the goal? What are the things that you're really trying to find?
I would say leadership, on and off the field, obviously. But just on the field, directing your defense, telling them what to do, helping out with your team, letting people know if they can turn, different things like that, organization on the field, stuff like that.
Do you feel that you were always vocal, or did you become more vocal?
I definitely became more vocal throughout my collegiate career. Gaining that confidence helped me. But yeah, I would say.
How do you know where somebody's going? Do you study film to see and tell? Like, okay, right before this person goes ahead, if they're going to go to the left corner, they always tap their foot. Like, do you look for little things that people do to give away where they're going? Like, how do you, especially in a penalty kick, how do you gauge where someone's going to go?
So like in game situations, I can't really tell because they're going to do different things all the time. You can't know where someone's going to go. So in game situations is more of a reaction and gut feeling type of thing. But penalty kicks, I definitely do lean on which way their bodies turn and stuff like that.
Do you feel like you've been able to catch like little intricacies of somebody where you're like, oh, okay, like I didn't pick up on that before, but now I know that if they turn slightly here, this is where they're going, or they're going to try and trick me this way if they do this? Like, do you feel like you picked up on anything?
Yeah, I think I did with penalty kicks especially. I always look at which way their hips are faced. So yeah.
Before we get into rapid fire, because we're going to end with that, this next chapter that could be for you, as you get set for hopefully the opportunity to play professionally, what do you want to say to all little girls out there that are starting to play, that are getting excited, think they might want to do this? What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, I would say always work hard, keep working. There's opportunities out there, so just put your head down and just keep grinding.
So let's get into rapid fire. For those of you that have not gotten to see Allison do this, you're going to get to know her a little bit better. You're going to get to know me a little bit better. We have no idea what we're going to ask. That's why it's called rapid fire. So you get to go first.
Anything?
Yeah, anything in the world.
Okay.
I have to answer it. There's no broadcaster I've ever seen on the planet in my entire life that turns the mic on themselves. So enjoy this, folks. We've done it for many years.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh man. So there's a show that I've worked on creating that's about a healing power, and I don't tell as much of it. Everybody steals today's world. So that's one that I really I thought about this like yesterday actually, just kind of doing stuff around the house. And I'm like, man, I really should work on that. So there's that, but without giving that away, I would say flight. I want to have wings, or teleportation.
Yeah.
I feel very connected to angels and kind of that piece of our world. And Nightcrawler is one of my favorite X-Men ever, that he could just disappear and reappear. Like I could disappear here and be in Italy.
Yeah.
As long as he can see it, he can be there. So like if I remember, like, oh, okay, this is, like if I think and I go, right outside of Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot looks like this, I can close my eyes and go there. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So, it would save a lot of time, and time is precious, right? It's the thing you can't get back. So probably that, to be able to go, and I'd go visit like all my closest friends are all over the country. So some of them out of the country. So I would love the opportunity in one day to just disappear, reappear, and like hang out with everybody. So, and you could take people with you.
Yeah.
So I'd probably grab all of my brothers wherever they are and grab them, teleport, and bring them all back to my house. I'd be like, we're gonna hang out for a couple hours. I'll bring you back to your families, but I'd probably have to steal everybody because we don't get to see each other a lot. Not all. None of us have ever been all together. We've been like one-on-one, 3 of us, but not all of us. So I don't want to do that. All right, good question. All right, Allison. If I had to pick a song that you're going to come out to as a professional goalkeeper, what song am I going to be hitting on that musical device? I have to say device because to some people it's just plugging in an iPhone. So if I'm going to play a song for you and we're gonna do the chant, we're gonna be like Allison Moreau, and everybody's getting psyched up. What's the song?
Oh, that's a hard one. Let's see. One that comes to mind, I guess. I'm a big Drake fan.
Okay.
I would say
That is the right answer. So Drake's the best.
Jumpman.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Get me hyped up.
That one could get you hyped up,
Yeah.
could get you jumping up. So yeah, I like Jumpman. I also, I think my favorite Drake line, in being Italian and Hispanic, is he says, I tuck my napkin in my shirt because I'm just mobbing like that. That is from Headlines. So yeah, I think that's a very good answer. That's the right answer. That's correct. What's your question for me?
Favorite movie?
Oh gosh, this is so hard. I love movies. Oh man. I like comedy a lot. I love Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, which is an oldie but goodie. I love Wedding Crashers because I really want to crash a wedding. And not in a bad way though. Like I really just want to like dance and make people laugh. I'll bring a gift. Like I'm not trying to steal anything. So yeah, I'd probably say Wedding Crashers, Liar Liar. I feel like I would have to pick comedy. And I love Robin Williams, may he rest in peace. So probably Mrs. Doubtfire. His name in the movie was Daniel. So Mrs. Doubtfire. All right, Allison, I'm going to keep with movies.
Okay.
You get to jump into a movie world. So it could be a movie based on fact, fiction, anything. You get to go into a movie, live within the world of this movie. So you could jump into a movie and be the president. You could jump into the movie and be in Harry Potter. You could go anywhere. You're going to jump in the movie. What movie world are you jumping into and why?
It's a hard one. See, I'm not a big movie person.
Okay. I feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that don't.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for movies.
Is it patience?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
can't sit down?
Yeah, if I don't like the first 5 minutes of it.
You're up. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So you're more of like, you'll binge a TV
Binge watch.
show.
Yep, TV shows.
Okay, so if you got to jump into a TV show then.
Probably The Office.
Okay.
Michael Scott.
You would want to work for Michael Scott?
Yep.
Okay. Took place in Scranton. Actually, it was supposed to be right downtown where I used to work. So at Time Shamrock, it was supposed to be right in that area. Unfortunately, Michael Scott, that is a person playing a character that's kidding Steve Carell. I had some bosses that were not as funny, but were ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but you would be in that, who would you be? Who would be your character of choice? You could switch bodies with them. Really good answer. I like that.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Jim, just because he'd always mess with Dwight.
I always think about the stapler and the Jello.
Yep.
I always think about that. All right, that's good. John Krasinski. I like it. Let's bring the office back. Allison Moreau is your new Jim. So, yeah, would you want to play a character named Allison, or would you want to pick another name?
Probably stick with Allison.
Stick with Allison?
Yeah.
All right. You know, keep with what you got.
Yeah.
What's your last question for me?
If you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
To see my family in Italy and Spain. And we're supposed to go to Italy this year. If the world could get its act together. So I've waited my whole life. I really want to go. I'm supposed to go with my dad. So hopefully Italy. I keep in touch with my family in Spain. They have literally said, please just buy a plane ticket and everything else is taken care of. So I'd like to go do that. That would be a lot of fun. So probably go see family overseas. All right, Allison. If you went on an upstate New York tour to someone who's never been here before, where are 3 places that you take them and why? Anywhere in upstate, from Binghamton, Albany, all the way to the Adirondacks. Where do we go? This is the upstate New York tour.
All right. There's I forget what that's called, but probably that, because it's absolutely beautiful.
You're talking about the one I've been to. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Ithaca Waterfalls.
The Dome.
Okay.
During a basketball game.
Okay.
And then probably hike a mountain in the Adirondacks.
All right, not bad. So to show people that who've never been to New York that there's so much more than New York City. We're cleaner, we smell better, we're nicer. Some of us, we're nicer. She's nicer. I think we're nice people, right?
Yeah.
Upstate New York we have nicer than downstate. Our taxes would probably be a lot cheaper. We have trees and grass, and yeah, I think upstate New York, because everybody thinks about New York City, and we're just different in a good way, I would say. And you can get Kigli's here, and Utica greens, chicken riggies. So Jennifer, I want my chicken riggies. With that being said, this very special Dolphin Dive to go into the history of Allison Moreau, your hopeful future goalkeeper professionally. I know no matter what you do, you're going to be good at it. Please keep in touch. So I don't want to be done telling your story for sure. I still remember that day on the field.
Yep.
And I remember all the other ones in between. So you're a special person. We're blessed to have you. And folks, seriously, look into Allison's story. If you need a little pick-me-up, you need some positivity, we're hoping the best for you, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Thank you, Dan.
Allison Moreau, myself, Dan Tortora, Dolphin Dive. Y'all stay safe out there. I'll talk with you soon. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. It is that time on Wednesday's broadcast where we separate the show into two pieces because of our fantasy football and NFL coverage over the years. People like to get to the fantasy content right away, so we're going to end this video, start a new one. So for those of you with us worldwide on YouTube and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. Stay with us. We'll be back momentarily with our coverage of the divisional round of the NFL and the fantasy football day.